All right, what's up, everybody? It's your favorite villain, and once more, today I have my lawyer with me, GB.
Yo.
What an intro. But, anyways, we had a great video last week. It's doing very well. It's approaching 100K. It was how would Marvel or how would Star Wars do against DC Comics? Since that was so popular, and per members' request, we will be doing what would happen if Star Wars pulled up on Marvel. Of course, we're treating it as if Star Wars is not connected to Marvel in order to do this. But with that being said, we're going to go through 5 tiers like we did last week. If you haven't seen last week's video, make sure to go check it out. But yeah, so for tier 1 for Star Wars today, we're not wasting any time. We're getting right into it. We have Mandalorian. Of course, we're using it every week because he's the hottest Star Wars character right now. So in season 2 recently, he showed he could stalemate Ahsoka despite her getting the drop on him. She's baseline omnipotent, so this was absolutely crazy. His disintegration rifle was actually able to hurt a crate dragon. Now, this crate dragon actually does appear to be mountain sized, at least, and it was said that it could one shot a town. Throughout the series, Mandalorian showed he could destroy several high tier fighters at once and kind of stands out as the go to guy among bounty hunters. Next up, we have Dirge. Now, in Boba Fett Hunted, his backstory and reputation is beautifully established in just basically a paragraph. Dirge, his father had warned Boba about him. A 2,000-year-old bounty hunter, Dirge hated the Mandalorians more than anything else in the galaxy. 100 years before Boba was born, Dirge had attempted to capture the Mandalorians' leader. Instead, he himself was captured and tortured. So of course his beef was always with Mandalorians, but he was always down to mix it up with whoever he was paid to fight. And Dirge was a consistent threat to high tier Jedi. In the comics, he was able to ragdoll Kit Fisto and Plo Koon at the same time. Dirge even once ragdolled Grievous with an uppercut. We have never really seen Grievous get kind of ragdolled like this, so it's quite an impressive feat for Dirge. Um, Dirge was also famous for his durability and could laugh off mortal wounds. He has been shown in the end, the only way to really put him down was to completely destroy his body. So Anakin threw him into a star, and that was the end of good old Dirge. But he was very powerful. Now, finally, last member of Tier 1, Cad Bane. Cad served for years as a bounty hunter before and after Clone Wars. After Jango's death, Cad became the goat of the bounty hunters. Seeing how easily he boloed Ahsoka is a quick sample of his famed skill. Now, he had in high encounters with high tiers like Kenobi and Quinlan Voss, and he more than held his own on these occasions, showing that he was more than capable of fighting Jedi. Cad has gear that can incapacitate even Obi-Wan Kenobi if you get in close. He is also faster than most Jedi and can get the drop on them if they get too close. Cad's pistols are so strong that they were tearing apart the mountainside. He also got the drop on a top tier bounty hunter as a shooter, so he is confirmed elite when using the blaster pistols. Now, having said all that, I'm going to go ahead and let GB take over and introduce Tier 1's team from Marvel. Who is being sent to stop this Star Wars team?
All right, so obviously Star Wars Tier 1, they're going to get low diffed. We got Gambit, absolute athlete, dunked on Wolverine, made him mad, had him heated. Wolverine wanted to scrap afterwards, obviously. In the next scan, you'll see Gambit obviously handles Wolverine. Wolverine in straight got punked. We also come in with Iska, the unbeaten. Uh, Bro, there's never nothing to say. Her immune ability is that she can't lose. She proved it. She one-shotted Captain Britain, shattered her into a million pieces. When she switched sides in the tide of war, like literally her brothers and the army she was fighting for previously just gave up. Cable and Magic literally tried to test her in little mini kid games to see if like how far her ability goes, and she didn't lose once. So she literally just can't lose. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like I know it starts hard. Oh my god, so she. That's too bad. Too bad. Um. Then after that, we got Gorgon. Gorgon's a master when it comes to sword fighting. He had the Maramusa blades, but sadly that actually broke. But now he has a more potent, powerful blade that he gained after he defeated the man who actually broke his sword. In Age of Apocalypse, not Age of Apocalypse, in Swords of X, he actually fought White Death, and he defeated White Death soldiers who are also actual how would I say, physically enhanced soldiers. He defeated 10 or 11 of them, I believe, and then he fell to White Death. But um, that's honestly not even a down feat because we know who White Death is. White Death is a boy. He also obviously, when it comes to his encounter with Iska noted how different he was, and he said, "Yeah, nobody's ever in a fair fight if they're fighting me." So Gorgon, but and obviously he brawls with Wolverine. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows about that legendary fight with Wolverine. So yeah, we got Master Swordsman, we got the Unbeatable, and we got an athlete. Star Wars is getting boloed, bro.
Yeah, I think out of all the matchups in tier one, I think the one I would like to see portrayed the most is probably Cad Bane versus Gambit. Both are tricky fighters, and they're slick with it, so it would be interesting to see how that fight would go. But yeah, Iska carries hard. She'd be the reason this Marvel team wins. By the way, guys, just so it's well known, because a couple people were confused last week, we are picking teams that will beat the Star Wars team. So that's their purpose. They're close, but they still win. So remember that when you're like, oh, why did Marvel win every round? Because they're supposed to. Moving on, we got tier two. Characters we're bringing to play for tier two.
Yeah, yeah.
Star Wars
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
You good, GB?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right, we got Darth Maul. Darth Maul is the strongest Sith Lord from the Clone Wars era. He's also one of the most feared characters in the history of Star Wars, probably up there with son and daughter. He's always been able to hold his own when clashing with Jedi Masters of high caliber as well as Sith Lords. Obviously, he was joking about him being relevant. He's also been able to hold his own against Grievous, even get the drop on him and hurt him. Next up, we have his brother, Savage Opress. Now, Savage was the brute young brother of Maul, and while he wasn't as refined as Maul, I feel like he got a lot of unnecessary hate. He's actually quite strong and was stated in a guidebook to have more potential in the Force than his brother. And Opress was able to fight Jedi Masters like Plo Koon and actually beat Plo Koon. He was known for being a tank, was able to tank lightsaber strikes and blaster wounds as well. And he actually had a very impressive feat of, while getting electrocuted by Dooku, he was standing up and lifting several pillars at once in order to impress Dooku. And finally, he had one of the more impressive speeds in that era. He was very slept on for his dexterity, as he regularly could dodge Jedi Masters, clown them, and kill them. Finally, for the Tier 2 team is Asajj Ventress. Asajj was considered to be maybe the strongest of Dooku's students according to the fact file. She showed her toughness often and
Whoa.
even endured enraged Anakin. She survived and escaped a confrontation with Mace Windu, even forcing him to actually, try in that battle. Asajj was able to push
Facts.
back Plo Koon, who is an incredibly strong Jedi Master and is actually GB's favorite character. She was insanely
Who?
quick at. She was insanely quick as well, and could even tag speedy fighters like Maul. Um, Asajj
Speed.
was Asajj was underappreciated as a Force user. She could casually create avalanches even before she was near her prime. So, with that being said, Marvel Tier 2, who are you bringing to get destroyed by Asajj?
Nothing that would distract me from my Mortal Kombat rank match right now. So we're gonna start up with Miles Morales. Shout out to everybody who has the PlayStation 5. Miles Morales, obviously, fast. Obviously, he's a Spider-Man, right? He's a Marvel character, right? So people are like, oh, where's the speed scaling? Well, here it is. He reacted to the light energy that was coming off a reactor. I know the power scalers are mad, but you gotta deal with it. Guess what? No Spidey sense needed. Hold that L. We also have the electrical shock gauntlets. He punches people and shocks come out. What else do you want me to say about that? You want me to scale that? Get out of here. You're dumb. Then he also fought Rhino. I mean, Rhino's a jobber, but he's strong. He's strong. So when he fought Rhino, guess what? Rhino did Rhino stuff. He ran through steel reinforced walls. He was busting up cars. Miles Morales displayed his Spidey sense in this fight. What else do you want? He's Miles Morales. He has strong webs. He does everything, right? So, yeah. Miles Morales. Who else is next? Hold up. Terminator. All right, Terminator beat me. All right, Omega Red. When Omega Red was created, a lot of people don't know this. Omega Red was created. He killed everybody, not with his bare hands, but with his aura. This man emits death. What a hacks. He's constantly beating up Wolverine. Now, actually, he emits radiation at a very high potency. In case people were actually confused, what is he emitting? Yeah, he actually emits radiation at a very high potency. He casually beats up Wolverine for a lot of the Claremont run. I'm not gonna lie, Omega Red was going crazy in the paint during Claremont. He's also taken out a number of high trained soldiers that were actually prepared to defeat mutants. With that being said, we're going up to big number 3, Venom. Everybody likes Venom until it's time to fight Venom. You feel me? Now everybody's gonna get mad. Miles Morales folded. Look at him crying. You killed my mom. Nobody cares. All right, next feat. Look, this man fought a dragon. He fought a null dragon. Guess what he did? He boloed him. How? He took down an entire arsenal from an armory room and fused it with his body. Then, as you can see, Splash, scrolling through the next scan. I hope this is on time, because if not, it would be bad editing. Yo, but we don't edit. Let's go. All right, so
I don't.
He actually used it. He actually used it as a bomb on his body, then relinquished the symbiote from his body and put it on this man and imprisoned him. He hit him with the freaking Naruto sand sarcophagus from Gaara. All right. Blue dude up. Beat the Nola avatar. It was an avatar, by the way. Chill. Many people mean, oh my god, he beat Nola. It's too OP. Oh my god, bad skilling. All right, so that's going to be it for Tier 2 in Marvel. Miles Morales, Venom, and obviously Omega Red. Listen, we're not going to talk about Omega Red's past. A lot of people are going to be in the comments trying to cancel Omega Red. He's already canceled. He hasn't shown up in a long comment. All right, let's
go. Okay, so obviously Marvel wins. I think the most interesting fight for me this round for Tier 2 would probably be Darth Maul versus Miles Morales, because I actually like Miles and I don't like Darth Maul, so it'd be funny seeing Maul lose to a kid. Moving on.
Seeing Maul lose to the exaggerated swagger. Yeah. Shout out to Sony.
You want to go ahead and finish that for the culture?
Nah. Shout out to Sony. Shout out to Sony. Hey, if you know, you know. You feel me?
Yeah.
I ain't getting canceled.
All right, oh man. All right, Tier 3, we have the first contestant, Dark Lord Starkiller. Dark Starkiller is an alternate version of the character. He scales above versions that fought Vader, even beat Vader, and actually was able to somewhat press Sidious. Now, when you also look at other things he did, he was able to beat, I believe, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, it was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Completely threw him off. I think he threw him into a propeller, actually, and it one-shot him. But he got rid of him, and then he got rid of Luke.
Whoa.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean he got rid of Luke?
Oh, If you know, you know. Moving on,
Oh,
we have Carvastor. Car was the clan brother of Mace Windu, and Mace said he may have been the strongest force sensitive he had ever met. He was casually above Mace Windu in all physical stats. He said Vastor was younger, stronger, faster, and more powerful, and he wielded weapons that could not be harmed by the Jedi blade. Finally,
facts.
we had Peak Dooku. Obviously, you just have to read up on the topic. You'll know he was above Mace Windu. Master Windu, only two
Whoa.
opponents ever overcame him in battle. One was Master Yoda, and the other was Master Dooku, whose own fighting style was archaic yet stunningly effective. Let's go. Also, he backed this up by casually bullying Mace in the comic books and throwing him off a cliff with a force push. He also, despite not having his senses and being drugged, he was able to style on his ops in his Gucci Mink PJs and win. And he's also casually with his Force Lightning one shot Jedi Master tier foes pretty easily and kept up with Yoda. I'm going to go ahead and let GB review tier 3 for Marvel.
All right, so tier three for Marvel. What do we got here? We got a bunch of jabronis, right? Storm. Everybody's happy about her being an Omega level mutant. Well, she put it on display against Null. That's right. She was bodying Null's army. What does Null army do? Overpower Doctor Strange. As strange as that may sound. She also fought what could have been the personification of death. Oh my god, the power scaling. The personification of death in Swords of X. Apocalypse's son. Yes, that's right. Not his nephew, not his cousin, his son, his biological son. Yes, this man is breeding all stars. He's LeVar Ball with it. So yeah, she actually beat him, and she was actually super nerfed. Just so everybody knows, she couldn't use her abilities during the fight. So with that being said, it's a pretty decent feat. It's not her best feat, but it's pretty decent. Yeah, so she's pretty powerful. Next up, we got Cable. But hey, before people go crazy, it's little kid Cable, little kitty Cable. Um, Cable out here really, he obviously telekinesis, he bowled Wolverine in hand-to-hand combat. Obviously, telekinesis will stop Wolverine, but if you know what Wolverine can do in Swords of X, you know what he can do in that run, you'll know why that telekinesis is pretty strong. Aside from that, what else has he done? Guess what? He beat the Summoner's summonings. This man basically beat Yugi Moto. Okay, that's what the Summoner does. He summons monsters from another dimension. Cable was on their cheeks. All right, he was on their cheeks. All right, so anyway, with that being said, we also can look at the next scan. People are confused, especially Cable fans. They're like, what's going on? Oh my god, no, that can't be him. No, yes, it is. It is Cable. Cable be Cable. It's symbolism. He scales above the old man. You know what it is. And that's all we need. But guess what? Hey, that might be all we need. He might solo, but we got Conan the Barbarian. People are so confused. Oh my god, Conan, he's in Marvel. Yes, he is. Ask Wolverine. Wolverine got slept. His adamantium pierced. People are like, oh, how did it go? Look, it went right through his chest. Are you going to say he doesn't have adamantium? He doesn't have a rib cage? Is that what you're going to say? You sound dumb. Then they actually fell off a mountain. Guess who woke up first? Conan the Barbarian. Disrespect. And on top of that, Kulak Goth, a wizard so powerful from the Conan mythos, it scared Doctor Strange. Now, I know a lot of people at this point probably like, oh my god, Doctor Strange is fodder. Take it up with Flash.
He's jobbing for
Man...
sure.
yeah. Chill. Let me scale my guy. Chill.
Keep going.
Yeah. So Kula got summoned this thing, and honestly, it was going pretty crazy. Yeah, it actually just stepped on Conan altogether and actually fought a Venomite dragon, or I guess a symbiote dragon, if you want to call it. Yeah. So that being said, Conan's obviously very durable. He's very strong. Scales above Wolverine in hand-to-hand combat. Can tank being stomped on from other dimensional, otherworldly creatures. Yeah, Conan the Barbarian. So that's it for tier 3. I think that's it, tier 3, right? Tier 3? Yeah.
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So, GB ahead of this, his favorite idea behind these matchups was just watching Conan fight lightsabers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because he's gonna try to break the lightsabers, not break the handles, but break the blades.
Yeah, exactly. Like obviously. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, obviously, if Conan has the strength to put steel through adamantium, which sounds ridiculous, but it's Conan the Barbarian. All he does is ridiculous. Um, yeah, if he has the strength to do that, he's obviously swinging through the lightsabers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Star Wars fans. I know you guys love your lightsabers, but Conan doesn't care about flashy lights. It's Kanye West.
What a reference! All right, we'll move on to tier 4. Going back to Star Wars. First up, I believe for tier 4 should be Yoda. Yeah. So Yoda was the Chad of Chads, with 900 years of studying and training, teaching and meditation, all now focused and refined and resolved into this single moment. His sole purpose of his vast span of existence had been to prepare him to enter the heart of night and bring his light against darkness. This follows the theme that Yoda is the greatest Jedi to ever live at that point, kind of an accumulation of or an accumulation of all the other Jedi before him. He held off a mountain plus sized being who was like, with his laugh, was throwing other astral bodies out of orbit, and Yoda stalemated him and was just like holding his own with basic telekinetic force abilities. Moving on, we had the fact that he was able to deal with an amped Dooku. Count Dooku, who I already showed, was able to beat Mace back in the day. This same Dooku got amped on a dark side Nexus and still couldn't beat Yoda. And then finally, Luke in the EU and in some of the novels said that Yoda was the strongest and that he was truly the greatest Jedi to have ever lived up to that point. Moving on, we have Valkorion. Vitiate or Valkorion reigned over the galaxy and manipulated it for hundreds of years. He's one of the most powerful Sith Lords ever. He negged death multiple times, going over different aliases throughout the galaxy and throughout the generations. He was the strongest Force user up to his time, including Revan, Malik, and everyone else that came before him, and specialized in all the dark inclinations of the Force. And finally, we have peak Darth Nihilus. Nihilus literally spoke death. He can make you feel and see absolute nothingness. Peak Nihilus was also alleged was going to consume everything. This makes him at least universal in his consumption, his life drain, his force drain, and his mind and soul hacks. That being said, I'm going to let GB go over tier 4 for Marvel. Who do we have?
We have a lot of upset fans from the X-Men because we have Professor X, and guess what? We're only using 1 feet. Immediately, heads explode. People are like, what? Oh my god, you're so disrespectful. Well, guess what? I don't have any scans of him throwing his wheelchair around. So there's no point in talking about physical combat. He's obviously going to use his telepathy. He fought Phoenix on all levels of creation or existence. So that's the only feat we need. That's what he's going to do. If Star Wars can get around that, which they can't, too bad. All right. Now, Doctor Doom. Kang the Conqueror hit these guys with a gun that literally reduces your will to 0. Everything that is powered by will is reduced to 0. These guys didn't even want to live anymore, right? Yo, Doctor Doom gets hit with it, doesn't care, wants to throw hands, literally stabbed him in the neck afterwards. He said, get off me. Reacted to a laser shot by MODOK, point blank range, and deflected it. Didn't have his armor at this point. Beat Taskmaster, senseless, didn't have his armor. Taskmaster, one of the best hand-for-hand combatants in Marvel. When he died in this arc, he was sent to Mephisto, put the hands on Mephisto, and came back to life to then one-shot Blue Marvel. Shout out to Splash, his favorite character. Moving on, Death Seed Sentry. Death Seed Sentry, obviously, first of all, Sentry's a jobber, but he's enough for Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars fans are mad. Yo. Hey, those who are King in Black, yikes. Anyway, um, capable, yo. Sentry can do anything. Obviously, Dusty Sentry can do anything previous Sentry can do. He's just crazier with it, right? So he stops Mjolnir with his telekinesis. People, oh, his molecule manipulation. I'm not here to debate that. He stopped Mjolnir with his mind. Let's not get semantical. He rips his head open and lets people see his mind and hits people with the Mangekyo Sharingan. Look at that. It's insane. Naruto bit off Sentry. Wow, who knew? Yo, next, after ripping his face open, hits Thor with the disrespect beams time 1 million, and that's all it took to beat Thor. And people say Thor scales to Superman. Yo, Danko, get your man. So yeah, that's all we're gonna do for tier 4. Yeah, that's tier 4. Yeah, that's all we're gonna do because tier 5 is gonna get real disrespectful.
Tier tier 4, I think the matchup I'd want to see is Nihilus trying to
Did you want
consume
Professor X?
everyone and Professor X saying no with his
Oh yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Just saying no. Probably what's going to happen. A
I
lot of
want a
these
Sentry
characters.
against Nihilus. Sentry versus Nihilus would be interesting. Death Seat Sentry at least.
Yeah, and this would be peak Nihilus. It would just come
Full
down to,
potential.
yeah, Nihilus just
Yeah.
can't put him away. Um, and then this is a sentry that does not job, so we don't have that option. Professor X would embarrass Valkorion though, because Valkorion's gonna try to mind hacks him. It's very unfortunate.
Mm.
That's probably what would happen.
He's like, I'm not Revan.
My God, yeah, GB hates Revan. That's a story for another day. Moving on, we have the final battle, the final tier, tier 5. Of course, these are all new characters except Mandalorian. So who did I bring for this final round for Star Wars? I'm glad you asked, because first up, son and daughter. Now, son and daughter are both manifestations of the light and the dark side of the Force, good and evil, their dualities. Father said he has to keep them in the realm of Mortis because if they were to exist in the mortal realms, their beef would passively tear apart the fabric of everything. That's why they have to exist. Now, son obviously has all the dark side abilities, daughter has all the light side abilities. Finally, on their team, full potential Anakin. Anakin, at his full potential, was supposed to be father level. Ask son and daughter about it. In an episode in Clone Wars, we saw him go to Mortis. Son and daughter were wilding out, and we saw that Anakin was able to almost reach his full potential here because it's basically just one giant realm of force ability. And when he did so, he bodied son and daughter, proving he was stronger than them. So he actually is the heavy raw power on this team. So, GB, who you bring in for tier 5?
All right, we're only bringing one man and one man only, and his name is Apocalypse, the ender of everything. All right, so an Apocalypse, Swords of X Apocalypse. We're not coming with that Age of Apocalypse. Some people are like, oh my God, Age of Apocalypse skills? No, 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 we're not doing that. That was trash. All right, so Age of X Apocalypse. What do we got? Saturnine literally said, when this man sets plans in motion, he stops the natural laws of space and time and space. All right, that is just him setting plans in motion. We're not even talking about this man actually fighting. We're not talking about this man actually doing work. We're talking about him just literally planning stuff. All right. So this man hits his calendar. You're done. Saturnine in Exo Swords was capable of moving the castle, the kingdom that centered all of creation. It was said to be unmovable, housing all of creation, everything at once. She moved it casually, and she heeded the words of Apocalypse when he said, hey, I'm getting mad. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with your boy. And she was like, okay, 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 chill, 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 chill. So that means she respects this man's power. She also noted a lot of his great victories in wars during this arc. It was actually pretty impressive. Next up, we have Apocalypse. Oh man, the Twilight Sword feat. The Twilight Sword feat. Apocalypse gets hit by the Twilight Sword, and guess what? Nothing happens. Oh, I know. People are mad right now. They're like, "Oh my God, the Twilight Sword! How did that get there? Oh, it was Surtur? No, no, it wasn't Surtur. It wasn't Surtur, dog. Don't worry, it wasn't Surtur. After that, Annihilation Mask. The Mask of Annihilation was said to be able to control all of Otherworld. All of Otherworld exists. In all of Otherworld exists all of creation. When you're fighting in Otherworld, you're fighting on all realms of existence at once. So if you die there, you die, period. This mask controlled all of that. Apocalypse controlled the mask. So this is all we need for this matchup, and that's who I'm bringing.
Yeah, so which matchup would you look forward to the most in this round?
I don't really have a choice because I don't have that many options.
Yeah, Apocalypse
So
doesn't either. He's gonna show up and potentially accidentally freeze his opponents because he's playing in some shit. But Anakin doesn't have enough finesse for Apocalypse. Son's too mad and daughter's too soft. They're strong enough to like annoy him for sure, but Apocalypse has way too much in the bag. That's at least what we think.
yeah, for sure.
All right. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Shout out to all the members that have been requesting videos. Shout out to Bullfrog. He was big into this series and he helped get this series going. Thank you, GB, for coming through. Shout out to everybody watching the video. If you want to become a member, me and Chuck are actually doing a hangout session and an event later today. If you want to come be a part of that, drop your Discord tag in the comment section down below. Anyways, it's been your favorite villain and GB, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.